let me move to the blessed among the men, the chair of the Pangolin Guild Nigeria. Um, can you tell us about the activities of the Pangolin Guild Nigeria?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Fawole Tosin, representing Professor Olajumoke Morenikeji, the chair Pangolin Conservation Guild Nigeria. So, at Pangolin Conservation Guild, our aim is to conserve wildlife in Nigeria, especially the pangolins. And when we hear about the pangolins, what comes to our mind is, why the pangolins? Why not something else?
Exactly.
So why the pangolins? The concept of the whole organization came in when the chair, Professor Olajumoke Morenikeji, was the director at the zoo of University of Ibadan. So she discovered that whenever pangolins are brought in to be kept in the zoo, they don't survive, they are usually dead. And then she became so curious to know about why this animal, so beautiful, cannot be kept in the zoo for people to see. Then she began to research into why this is happening, and then she came to realize that it's a worldwide problem, that pangolins cannot be kept captive and they cannot be reared in captivity. And they are only found in Africa and in Asia, just those two continents. And they are very, very shy and slow animals. So which is another reason why they are the verge of going into extinction, because they are so shy, timid, and cannot defend themselves. And they even call them defenseless animals. And the role they play in the ecosystem cannot be overemphasized. A single pangolin feeds on about 70 million ants and termites per year and 200,000 in a day, which means we can call them natural pest controllers. They help as a cleaning mechanism for the ecosystem. But the problem is that they cannot be reared in captivity and they are going into extinction. So what is the major cause of their extinction? These animals are found only in Africa and in Asia, and we are blessed with this species in Nigeria, at least with 3 species. We have 4 species in Africa, but in Nigeria, we are blessed with about 3 species of the pangolins, and the other 4 species are in Asia, which means we have 8 species in total of pangolins. So now that the organization was created, our aim is like I said earlier, to conserve the pangolins in Nigeria. And how do we do this in Pangolin Conservation Guild Nigeria? We do this through collaborations, through research, through rescue, release, and rehabilitation. We also do education and awareness. So far, we've been able to collaborate with different organizations, because if we talk about wildlife conservation, we cannot take out the essence of collaboration. Collaboration is part of the reason why we are all here today, discussing about wildlife conservation. We need to all share our ideas on what can be done to make this goal achievable. So at the Pangolin Conservation Guild, we collaborate with organizations that are involved in wildlife conservation to carry out projects that can help to create awareness about this organism, about this animal. We also do education and awareness. We create wildlife conservation clubs. One of our projects we are running presently is to create conservation clubs in secondary schools in Ibadan. And we were funded to carry out this project. We see that it is very necessary for the younger generations to be carried out. It's not enough for us to just be talking about it. We also need to ignite this passion in the upcoming generation so that they can know that they are also important to play a crucial role in conserving their environment, in preserving the precious joy that has been embedded in their nation. We also do community-based conservation trainings. Sometimes in the year 2022, we we collaborated with another organization, One Health and Development Initiative, to go to community. Ekpe, there is a particular market called Oluwo Market. It's a wet market in Ekpe. It's a very, very large hotspot for the sale of whatever kind of wildlife you are looking for. Once you get to Oluwo Market, you will get it. Even if they don't have it, they will promise you to get it for you. So we went to the market and we decided to create awareness and then to train them to become community task force for the conservation of the pangolin. At the initial stage of the project, they were all arguing, it's not possible. No, how can you say we should not kill these animals? They are there for us to feed on. And we made them to understand that we are not saying you should not touch, but we are admonishing that you use them sustainably. Because whatever we do to the ecosystem, still in one way or the other, falls back to us. Whether we use them well, it returns back to us well, and if we do bad, it's going to come back to us as that. So at the end of the whole training, they came to realize that they are actually very, very essential because it is their environment. We are just letting them to know that they should conserve their environment, and that is the soul. So by the end of the training, they all agreed that it is actually necessary. Now today, if they are the ones reporting themselves, like if a trader sees another trader selling the pangolins, they call and say, this person is selling, and they are even arrested. And another thing that we don't know is that for the course of wildlife conservation, we have laws that are guiding us to conserve this wildlife and every other thing that we have, but they are not enforced, and that is why those people also feel like they can continue in such. And through research as well, that's another pillar of the organization. We carry out research, we rescue some pangolins, study them, because they are not really, because these organisms are not that, they are shy animals. Most studies have not been done on them, especially the species that are found in Africa and now down to Nigeria. So we make sure that pangolins that we rescue, we get samples from them, study we do ECG, we study their parasites, we do morphology to study and understand what are those things that differentiate these pangolins from the other species that are found in other continents. And another thing we also do is to rescue.
All right, thank you very much. We are still going to come to the successes of the Pangolin Guild. But let me quickly ask. We know that these species are one of the most widely trafficked species in the world. So what are those ethnobotanical or ethnozoological importances of these species? Why are they mostly trafficked all over the world?
They are mostly trafficked because of their scales. Pangolins are the only mammals with scales on their body. Their whole body is covered with scales, and their scales is made up of keratin, just the same component that makes up our fingernails. And the major problem they face is just those scales. So people from China, they use those scales for traditional medicine. So they come back to Nigeria because most of the species, I mentioned earlier that there are 4 species in the Asian continent. Now that most of their own are, if not critically endangered, they are vulnerable. That means they are close to getting extinct. And when it gets to a point, they will no longer see them because they've used most of them for their traditional medicine. And from research and studies, it has shown that most of these things that they use, they've not been able to pick out a particular component that we can say is scientifically proven to be curing whatever it is they are using it for. But the major problem from the question is their scales, which are being smuggled for traditional medicine.
All right, thank you so much. Lastly, from the chair of the Pangolin Guild Nigeria, what has been the successes so far, the success story of the organization?
Thank you very much. One of our major success so far is the initiation of the community-based conservation Pangolin Conservation Task Force that was initiated in Ekpe. That's the first of its kind in Nigeria. where people become police of themselves to make sure that wildlife are conserved in their community. Another success we've had so far is our research, and we've been able to make publications from our findings, which has added to broad of knowledge about about pangolins in Nigeria. Also, the initiation of conservation clubs in secondary school is a success, and our collaborations with people and partnership with other organizations is also a success that we've recorded so far in pangolin.
Thank you so much. To wrap up